В різних провінціях Канади поволі відкривається доступ до кінотеатрів. І може вас зацікавить новий канадський фільм «Target No. 1» на сучасну тему – надужиття влади в Канаді зі сторони поліції Canadian Security Intelligence Service, яке вміло розкрив журналіст Віктор Маlarek.
Тут під будинком музею кіно в Монреалі, де зараз має відбутися прем'єра канадського фільму, який зосереджується на одній із важливіших праць журналіста Віктора Маларека. Порушення влади, вільна преса – це головні теми, які спонукали канадського режисера Робі представити цей фільм про цю правдиву історію з канадського суспільства.
The abuse of power in the police and the importance of free press to protect our freedom and democracy was the driving force for me to decide to take on this project that I didn't know at the time was going to take me 13 years to put together and release. But I mean, it was my objective to make this movie my second feature in 2007 when I started the research seriously on this. And it's been, I guess, a big challenge the whole way, but also very gratifying because I have Alain Olivier and Victor Malarek with me to help me tell the story the best way that I can, and it's been fantastic.
На канадській прем'єрі цього фільму в Монреалі був присутній саме той простий канадський чоловік, якого підставлено на доживотнє ув'язнення у Таїланді.
You know when someone comes to get you out of a whole 12,000 miles away, and that he believes in you and he does everything to make it back. That did help me a lot also to stand up to everything that was thrown at me over there until the day I would come back here. And Victor, I can understand the skepticism at the beginning in 1989, but after a few years, when you realize that I was telling him the truth, and to see all the work that is done for me and force the government to bring me back home, that as such was something absolutely incredible because no one else except him did that. Nobody in Canada, none of the media would rather believe in the RCMP, and it took Victor to bring some light, to shed some light on all this, and now with Danielle who's making the movie, but it adds up to all this. It's been a long journey, it's been 31 years, and for the movie, when the movie goes out on Friday, gonna be 31 years actually to the day that I walked out from the prison over there.
Малим хлопцем, переживши різне насилля від керівників інтернатів для молоді в Квебеку, головним життєвим завданням Віктора Маларека було обороняти тих, які не могли самі себе оборонити.
You know, 50 years ago, I became a journalist, and what I wanted to really do was investigate. And stories like this are what made Victor Malarek and what made me and what is in my soul and what is in my gut. That you have to go out there and fight for the little guy. You have to go out there to fight for the disenfranchised. You have to just dig and get to the truth. And what this movie represents to me is it shows that you should never give up. That a journalist has got to do their job and just not simply believe a press release or whatever is given to them. Alain Olivier could have died in prison. He didn't do what they said he did, and I worked hard to show that the RCMP set him up. He would never been able to do any of this had the RCMP not created it. And I feel good that Alain Olivier got out of prison after 7 years instead of serving or coming out in a box 100 years later.
If what really happened here reaches the public, you're off.
Victor, what is this about? We need an interview. Big-time Canadian drug dealer. It's arrested in Bangkok. A major heroin pipeline was shut down.
Everything's in the press release.
Nothing's in the press release.
Why is he still in Thailand?
Do you know how much money you owe me?
I don't have any cash.
You want a job?
See, we're looking to expand our operations. We'd like you to help us out. You're going to Thailand.
I've been an investigative journalist for 15 years. And nobody knows anything about this drug kingpin. I don't think he's a criminal mastermind. 2 days over there and I'll come back with a national scandal. What happened to you? You can't pay for protection? Aren't you this huge drug lord or something? You can either tell me what really happened, or you can squander this precious opportunity.
This Canadian operation was illegal. They paid for it.
Who paid for it?
The federal agents, they paid for everything.
The target is imported from Thailand.
We're gonna go ahead and authorize the operation.
We're talking pure H2BC.
I want out.
You do this thing or I'll skin you alive.
They made threats to me.
Daniel Leger is a drug addict. Can't trust anything he says.
What if I found out that you guys paid for Leger's trip down to Thailand?
I'd be very careful before I print anything about this case.
Or what?
Hey, Malarek! Don't want you to get hurt.
Where the hell is my story?
What could blow up in our face?
Canadian citizen is executed in a third world country. We're not going to do a thing about it?
You can't save everybody.
What does Mung Thai mean?
Mung Thai mean you dead.
If you sell drugs, you will be caught.
Victor, how do you balance off the issue that we presented in the movie? Family life, personal life, and your commitment to your job and your work.
Look, it had a lot of trials and tribulations for me because I'm hard-headed. I want to get to the root of the story. I want to get to the truth. And sometimes in my vision going like this, I forget that other people important in my life exist. And, I have to be reminded every so often that, hey, you've got a little daughter here, you got your wife there, you got people here. You've got to be able to pay attention to what is going on because they're important as well. And, just to make certain that they're safe and I'm doing what I have to do, but always watching my back and watching their back.
But tell me, what made you want to trust and open up to Victor at that first meeting?
But these are things that you feel or you don't. Some other reporters came to see me and I had to tell them to go away because I didn't want to talk to them, I didn't trust them. But Victor, I felt that I could put my trust in him. And whatever happened, I didn't have anything to lose anyway. And I decided to trust him, and 31 years later, here we are with the movie, and I couldn't be happier than that. I am happy today.
Congratulations. In a certain way, the story right now, Black Lives Matter, it's a sort of a wider, it's not just racial, it's privilege that you are conquering here in this movie.
Well, abuse of power from the police on the weak. It's not a race issue in this movie, but it is abuse of power. And they thought that a drug user, a junkie, either way how they call them, for them it's almost like a lower race, and they don't really put as much value on the life of a person like that. So it is part of that idea that we need to make sure that people use the law the way it's supposed to be used, and that we're not giving the power for certain people to cover up like their mistakes and swipe under the rug somebody when they feel like that person might expose your mistakes and make you look stupid because that person has less value. So that was something that I felt was an issue on this project, and it's very linked to what happened recently. I agree with you.